And welcome back, everybody, to a very fun episode of the Careful Boys. And today we have Jeremy back in the
Yay!
So we were kind of talking about this before we were rolling earlier, and we were talking about, let's say, the pros and the cons of doing what you love for your career.
Oh, the pros and the cons.
Versus doing what you hate?
Versus just doing some deep.
So just the pros and the cons of doing what you love.
Yeah.
Like, for example, we were talking about dance and stuff like that, right?
Okay.
And how it was like, oh, like you get really good at something, you love doing it, but then when it becomes a part of your career and you have to do it, there's a moment, and I was saying this, where I was like, I know I love dancing, but I definitely am not in love with dancing right
Yeah, because a huge con of dance is that you have a time limit to figure out what you're going to turn the dance career into.
Yeah. There's an expiration date. Like,
Because of
yeah,
your body and biology.
Yeah, and just the fact that, like, you know, the jobs are going to go to the next generation every time. So you have to either choose choreographer, creative director, or just something.
And you have to
gotta,
just pick that fast.
You got to figure it out, yeah.
And then once you're in that situation, even if you are doing well in it, most of the time when you're getting paid for it, you're like an accessory to a grander vision. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're being hired to choreograph for this artist, you're being hired to direct or dance for or perform for this situation, TV show or commercial or whatever, you know? So you're doing something that is a necessity of the job. Even though you're doing what you love, and you ain't gonna complain because the alternative maybe was in your other life you would have been like, you know, a tax consultant or whatever. So you're like grateful.
There's like a tax and consultant like, I like my job.
Talking shit. You talking shit.
But you are constantly doing like what is asked of you versus like always, you know, you think the life of a creative is to be creative all the time, which you are, but it's like contingent on what is needed.
But you guys are a different level above that, though. Like Kinjas and stuff. That's different.
You guys are coordinating.
They're not grunts. You're like they're like another. They're like a mercenary group.
Yeah, it's different from like.
Wagner vibes.
Yeah, you're
Move
whacking.
your butt here. Shake your feet here.
Shake your feet. What the fuck? What the fuck?
You're telling people.
Shook my feet under the table.
If you're happy and you know what kind of
Move your butt here. Shake your feet.
He's like shooting guns at our feet. Dance, monkey.
Well, you guys are directing the bodily movements, and you don't have to be the one wiggling the bodily movements.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, like I said, you know, the pros and cons.
Pros and cons.
We definitely get to oftentimes do like what we love. We get to, I think we are fortunate in this time and generation where through things like the power of social media, we've been privileged to get hired to do us in a lot of situations. But then there's just as many situations where as us, we're hired to promote this or something.
Well, I think the first thing is no matter how fun it is, as a human being, all novelty will wear off. So like the freshness, the newness, the excitement, over time, whatever you're doing, it will wear off.
Yeah.
And then it's up to you to figure out how to keep it challenging, how to keep it fun, how to keep whatever. But if you can't, and you don't evolve, then it actually becomes stressful, even if you think you still love what you're doing.
The con that the novelty wears off.
Yeah. Well, if you can't like find a new way to look at it, and it's like, then it becomes I did love what I'm doing now, rather than I'm doing what I love.
Is that a con?
Is that just part of maturing as an adult, though?
I don't know if maturing is the right
Maybe.
word. It's just like
Yeah.
over time, I think everything will lose its wow-ness. Yeah.
Is that a con for you that happened to you?
I think the challenge is, that would be the con. The challenge is the magic of like the journey of like, oh, I can't wait till I'm doing what I like for a living, right? And you get there, and over 10 years passes, 15 years passes, and then you go, this is so normal to my life that I don't appreciate it like when I first started.
Well, speak in specifics and personal experience.
Since you've done this career for a while.
Example, I would say like it took me to go outside of YouTube to appreciate YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because I got to the point where doing a brand deal, because that comes with the territory of how we can make money on social media. We have to get sponsored, we have to do that, right? Like, it was so hard for me to just do a 3-minute video, and that shit would pay me like $5,000 or whatever, right? and it's 3 minutes. And then I got to the point where I actually liked hard fucking slow work, and it took me 2 months to probably make $5,000. But I liked that way more because it was so new. And in my mind was like, but then, you know what? That was so much easier. Why didn't I just appreciate and stay with it?
Yeah, I can see
Because
that.
I could just do a shot out and boom, I make the same amount of money that I did last, like in a year of my career before YouTube. But I stress out and I go, I procrastinate. I don't want to fucking do it, you know?
Yeah, because you just, yeah.
But then like there was a time when I was excited to do this deal because I was so grateful and fortunate that like I got sponsored and now I want to fucking do it, right? And then it's just this weird mental game that I wish didn't exist in my head. The internal battle of picking and choosing doing certain work or like stressing over something that is like so easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a pro or con for you, Jeremy? I feel like you've done things from loving it as a kid to doing it at like the highest level.
That's true,
I
yeah.
think, I mean, well, I'm fortunate enough to like have like jobs come a lot. So every job is different.
Yeah.
So one job I may have to be a gun expert that knows jujitsu, and then the next one might be I have to do swords for the next year, or the next one it's always a little different. And then the other pro to that is I get to meet so many different people, from people who like doing what we do, people that hate doing what we do, so they have to train to play a role, whatever. So then every job becomes a challenge in a different way. So the pro is that it's not like going to a desk and doing this all day and answering a phone. It's always a little bit different.
Is there a genre of stunt that when you get those gigs you're like, fuck? Or is all of them are interesting to you?
I mean, they're always, I don't know. So sometimes after a while, I started hating like doing kicks because
That's tight.
my hammies are tight. Like, you got to play this dude who's got a kick for the next 2 months, and you're like, God, you're like, I'm over 30 now. My hammies are not like nice and
Like when you have
loose.
to do splits and stuff?
Yeah, and usually it comes back to me though, because like, I wasn't keeping. We were talking about keeping up our skills from before.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I found this weird way to balance, because I train so many different arts that's what's hard about jiu-jitsu. People are like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu, you promote jiu-jitsu all the time. And I'm like, depending on when we have this conversation, I may be really good at jiu-jitsu or I might be really bad, because sometimes
The focus shift.
I cycle.
Yeah.
Because the upkeep for everything is impossible pretty much.
Yeah, like if I have a Marvel movie coming up that I have to do, or help train actors be able to like flip and fight, then I'm probably not doing jiu-jitsu every day, or I'm skipping it once a week, something like that. So it's actually pretty different, to the point like every job is a little different, and it keeps me excited because I keep meeting new people who are excited about the shit that I do and that like to be ninjas or like to play samurais and like to, it's like you're meeting a new kid every year at a different playground.
Yeah.
Imagine if when you're a kid, your parents take you to a park or something over and over again, and you make your friends, and that's cool, but then you go to another park.
So you constantly have new play dates.
I'm always at a different park.
Like fresh
It
energy all the
refreshes
time.
itself, yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So it's hard for me to not like it. And then you're in a different country with a different language, and then you're like, learning about different people.
Dude, yeah.
As a kid, we couldn't travel, so now all I do is travel, and that gets tiring too. But I could say that I've learned a bunch of different cultures and got to learn different languages and meet people. So
Do you are you more of like a freelancer, or do you run your own company?
I'm a freelancer, but I represent 8711 Action Design. So I'm kind of one of the OG members of the team.
Yeah.
And they don't pay us directly, but they pay me, or they hire me the most to do like 87 jobs.
So you're like the main representative of a stunt company.
Yeah, like I'm just the most like active publicly about it because all the other OGs they're actually like turning into directors. Like Jojo Eusebio, Asian in the industry, he just directed Kwan's next movie. It's called With Love. So there's
He's
another
Kwan?
Kwan's the lead, and then Jojo has been my mentor under Chad. He was like my first to Chad. I'm his second, and he just became a director. So like all the other OGs of the team are kind of doing their own thing, coordinating, second unit directing and stuff. So, and I'm the youngest one, so I'm the most active on socials.
So most of the things that you're like, oh, I don't want to do is like, it's like a move. It's like I don't want to kick today, or like I don't want to elbow.
Sometimes you're like, I want to do a fucking stunt, and then sometimes somebody calls you like, you gotta do a car hit today. And you're like, okay, But I mean, I'm lucky enough to where I like stunts nowadays very specialized, so I mostly only get called to choreograph fights and.
Oh, so it's like you don't have to get hit by a car every day. No. I see.
It's like when we did John Wick 4, I met my quota for not having the car hit for like 8 years, and then I got hit by so many cars.
That's right.
He was like, "You're in debt, bro. You owe us some car hits." And so we did a bunch of car hits, but then that's what was cool too. Even doing John Wick 4, we had our training facility, then we had our dog training facility. Because they had those dogs that were biting.
Oh, dog training. I see.
When do you get to? You don't get to rehearse like choreography with a dog or fighting dogs that bite you, right? So for 4 months, if we weren't doing previs or concepts, we were training getting bit by dogs. Doing fight choreo and then dogs biting us, like trying to see how we could push the limit. Because if you shot a movie like that in the 90s, right, it would always be like, these two guys are fighting and then they look over and then cut and you see a shot of the dog running and then cut and then you see like some kind of a dog bite at the end. But we had to be able to like fight. Oh look, there's oh fuck, and all in one shot. So we had to train stuff like that. So that became new and fun. And then they had to tell us like, you're not allowed to talk to the dogs on set because they know it's work time. So we had to communicate with the dogs. Like on set, it was like not being able to talk to your best friend. You show up and the dog would be like, "How?" And you just walk to the other way.
So you can't even pet them or nothing.
You can't play because they have to know it's work time.
Whoa. You don't secretly go like, oos.
Well, it's like little wink.
Yeah, I would just want to pet him.
But then after,
Dude, always.
after can you like after the work day? Can you like?
Yeah, like we would say goodbye to the dogs every day. Goodbye.
Hey, what's the pro and con of being a barber?
Oh.
Dandruff.
What's the pro and con of being a barber in the stunt and dance industry? Because I feel like that has a lot more cons.
Or most of your clients
good,
dance and stunt guys.
Clients are stunt guys,
Yeah,
man.
majority of them are stunt guys actually now, but yeah, just the timing. Sometimes they're here every week. They want to cut, and then boom, they're gone for like a couple months, and you're like, damn, man.
So you mean like your stability of the clients?
Yeah, and then, but sometimes it's just like, yo, can you do the haircut just like the actors? Because I'm doubling it. I'm like, yeah, cool. And then next thing you know, they come back with a bald head, and you're like, what the heck? I did all that work for that? But I don't know, really, dude. Honestly, no really pros or cons.
Do you love cutting hair?
I do.
Sick.
Well, you're a man of many jobs.
Yep.
So which one would you say is like, this is my shit? If I could do this, that's it. That's what I want to do.
Or cops on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Do you get paid for that? Are you sponsored?
No. Oh, that's a tough one, man. I'm not gonna.
Or do you actually like having a hell of a bunch of different jobs?
Yeah. That's
I personally like having different jobs because one day I'm sore as hell, and then 5 people hit me up for a haircut. I'm like, cool, easy money, I'm in my house or I'm at someone's house.
Because aren't you on a stunt gig right now?
I just finished. It was just 2 days for a week.
What'd you have to do for that?
Get hit by a car?
No, we had like a whole. We just had a quick fight scene, and then I had to take a fall, and then we had a bunch of acting in the beginning. That's about it. Nothing crazy.
Don't dumb it down. What was it?
Huh?
What was it?
Were you on
That's-
Shogun?
No, that's all it was. It was for I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it.
Probably not.
Don't look at me. I wasn't even on
the
that.
rules.
Bro, this video will come out by the time that show is canceled anyway.
God damn.
No, it's for. I think it's for. So I guess
You're not supposed to say it, fool.
Damn.
can't cut that shit out, bro.
Inside the NDA, you just said it straight up.
No, but honestly, like me working multiple jobs is the best part. But I really do like doing stunts and cutting hair. Like that combo right there is like perfect for me. Yeah. Honestly, because I get to talk to everybody, and the people I cut is like straight up legendary people too.
That is true, yeah.
Jeremy, Travis, Justin.
Not this one today.
Yeah, not that
so
one.
don't judge this. Don't judge him.
But just in general, me working multiple is super fun.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Have you ever had a stunt guy that just smelled like shit? Because you cut in your apartment, right? And they come after the gym. And then somebody just
Yeah,
you're like,
no.
yo, bro, I gotta hurry up this face.
Obviously, I can't say the name or anything like that. But I had a haircut where I had to say, "Yo, could we cut outside?"
For real?
Yeah.
It was that bad?
No way.
You already booked your NDA once.
First and last letter.
White Dragon
First and
Pride.
last letter of the first name.
He's the only barber with an NDA now. He's like,
Dude, no, I can't say it. But I
what are the initials?
Was he a heavy or was he like a?
can't say nothing. I won't say anything.
What about you, Bart? Pros and cons.
Yeah, move on.
As a fitness influencer.
Or start with just the gym. What's the pros and cons of opening up a gym?
The pros?
Yeah.
The pros is the community.
You can work out every time you want.
All the cakes.
All the cakes, all the
yeah,
caked
yeah,
up
yeah,
boys, yeah.
No, the pros is the community. It's like you build. It's like almost having your own. You know, like the same vibe if you play like a high school sport and you see your same team and everyone struggles together and works hard together.
Yeah.
It's like being able to reproduce that where everyone's getting after it. That's the pro to that, and having that monthly community that you always see. The cons to it is when you have a team, there are fucks too. So now the fucks are now glued to the monthly interaction. You're like, God damn it, there's this fuck in here. That's
Like a jujitsu class.
exactly. Exactly. Like, damn, there's fucks, but there's also really cool people.
But you talked about, like, and you've mentioned before, not necessarily being in a time of your life where you, like, love running a gym specifically. But I know you.
I never loved running a
But
gym.
I know you love.
Not from the beginning, not at the end.
You love fitness and working out.
So funny.
But what are your pros and cons of, like, because your brand is like fitness and working out.
Okay.
Like, what are your pros and cons now in your life about that?
I've been through actually a lot of it. So I would say the first part is when you're in the novelty phase, you're like, oh hell yeah, this is so cool. Everyone that loves training always daydreams of opening their own facility. That's like everyone, whether you're in jiu-jitsu or probably taekwondo or whatever, you always go, I want my own spot. So opening the gym, I was like, oh, this is gonna be so sick. And then you have it all set up and you're like, I'm so happy. And then you go, oh wait, I gotta run a business though, which has nothing to do with like, it has nothing to do with any of the fun stuff. Like, you know, you're like, we gotta fucking look at my books and my fucking, I gotta pay fucking insurance, or like, you know, the fucking water cooler broke, it's fucking leaking everywhere. You're like, what does that have to do with fucking bench pressing? There's all the, like the business part of it, and then you're like, so that's like the first slap in the face, and then you're like, oh, okay, so this is what it's like to fantasize about something, and then reality hits. Then I think you get over that part, like any new obstacle in your life, whatever was big before and daunting kind of becomes a norm. And I think that's part of like elevating and maturing. So, okay, cool, that's cool. Then is the community part of it. I think that's super cool until you have fucks, and then you have drama, and then you're like, can everybody just fucking get a pump? Like, why you gotta come here and cry about this? And then every time these two members come in here, the whole vibe changes. You know, there's like that. You're like, oh, okay, so we can't even have these two members. Oh wait, there's drama between the staff now because they fucked and then they whatever. So they're like, okay, so you guys gotta stay separate. You know, then so there's like that part of like HR or like babysitting aspect type
There's
of
a lot of
thing.
employees there too, man.
Yeah, and then it becomes, then you're like, okay, cool, success. Lots of people come in here from all over, and you're like, this is fucking cool. And then now you're like, oh fuck, I don't even know if I could go to my own gym. And this is kind of like the, because you have a successful gym, and every time you're trying to get in what you love, it's like imagine you're Jordan trying to like train for a championship.
Damn, you just compared yourself to Jordan.
Wrong example. Imagine you're a Spud Webb again. Trying to get noticed on the court.
Still a pro.
And as soon as you're trying to do something, it's like, okay, get a picture. You're like, you know, and it's like, oh,
takes you out your mode.
yeah, you're like, and then so it's like now the place that you thought you were building like a temple to worship for, you're now actually a mascot for. So it's like, you know what? I'm not even gonna come here and train. I'm just gonna go and stand on the front. Oh, my chicken, yeah. Oh, my chicken, yeah. You become the like the mascot version. That's like that thing.
Bart's the fucking floater that just goes in front of the building.
Oh, you came from Ireland? That's so fucking cool. Dude, what are you gonna hit today? Oh, sick. Hell yeah. I'm never gonna see you again, but okay, cool. And then so you
heard it, folks. Don't bother Bart at the gym.
Yeah, let him work out.
then so
Not mid workout.
at every peak, you can only stay there for so long, then it comes back down. So now you're like, oh, come on, guys, I gotta pay the fucking bills. Come back from Ireland, pretty fucking please. I'll take as many pictures as you want, dude. I don't even care about training. I'll spot you all day, whatever.
You're like fake training to see who comes up.
yeah.
That's so funny.
So there's that part of it. And then, but then I think the biggest thing that I realized, at least for my personality type, is there's that whole like CIA guy that was like breaking down like how they view personality type. They don't go by INTJ or whatever. They go by like
Cheetah, fox.
cheetah, fox,
Horse, jungle.
So cheaters are doers, lions are thinkers and kind of like masterminder and executors. Foxes are the ideas people, and then bears are people. So there's people that are, I'm down to join any team if the people are dope, and we can do anything. Wedding photography, we could do whatever. And then, so after boiling that down, I was like, oh shit, I'm actually a cheetah, like I'm a doer. So I shouldn't be put in a position that's running things. Cause then I'll feel like, you know how some things feel icky, like it doesn't feel like it's natural? So I actually think I would have been way better as a like influencer for a brand or an athlete for a brand, because I'm more of a doer rather than like running the gym.
You did say that your dream job is to not be a boss but be an employee of something that you supported, but there was no place for you, an outlet, so you had to invent that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, but that's like my 10-year journey after learning about a bunch of pros and cons and kind of learning the double edges of every sword.
But I think like it's those things where you have to dream and execute to look back and go, oh.
To learn.
Yeah, because it all starts with this imagination of, dude, wouldn't it be so sick if we do this thing, you know?
Yeah.
And then you just do it, and then you go, man, it ain't fucking what I thought it was gonna be. But then it depends on how you pivot from there. Because I think like the people that outlast other people is like they can stay in that same thing and keep evolving or reinventing themselves, or they're in line and they actually hit the mark. Like let's say like
Yeah, like
if
you're a
you
lion
are a
doing
lion,
lion shit.
exactly.
Yeah.